know that we've got a big fight when Boxing Bros is in town. That's when you know. That's when you know. So
Boxing Bros UK here. Let's get straight into it. Was it a fucking robbery or not? Buatsi Parker with our special guest, Mr Neatreal.
Yes.
Thanks very much for having me, guys.
It's a pleasure. We've wanted to get you on here for a while, actually. We watch a lot of your stuff. Hope you watch ours sometimes, if it's not a bit too mental.
Absolutely. I used to a mental, by the way, but I love it.
Yeah. So, I'm going to talk a little bit about the fight, because I'd just like to say, I was at Ringside, and I said, round 6, I put a short out, go and check it. I said, Buatsi's going to win this on points. I think he's winning the fight. I'm saying this now. Buatsi for a late stoppage or easy unanimous decision win, guaranteed. And it turned out that everyone else thought he lost, except for me and the 3 judges. Just want to say that.
I think it was just the 4 of you. I think it was just the 4 of you, Chris, to be honest with you. And like maybe one channel. We'll get on to...
Oh, we'll talk about the fight. It was horrible, but it was like clinching. And how did you score it? I gave round 1 to Buatsi.
Is that for me or for our guest?
Anyway, Mr Neutral, you're the guest. Go first. How did you give score round 1?
Yeah, I gave round 1 to Parker for the jab.
Yeah.
Buatsi was hitting fresh air round 1.
Me too, yeah. Buatsi was hitting fresh air most of the fight, I thought. Missing every...
I thought, but my thing is, Parker, there were throwaway jabs, or he was hitting the gloves, or hitting the elbows. I watched it today, I kept rewinding it. He wasn't really landing clean like everyone thought, and he wasn't really hitting hard. I think Buatsi was hitting him harder, a lot harder, and Buatsi, in the clinches, when he had a free arm, he was banging away. And then Parker was trying to give him a blowjob and just rolling on the floor every chance he got. So
yeah.
I mean... Andrew, Parker was going down a lot, wasn't he, during that fight?
He was.
And I'm pretty sure the judges were getting a little bit peeved off with it. Because I think 1 or 2 occasions it looked like Buatsi had pulled him down by accident, well, however you want to call it. But I think the last 3 occasions were so weak how he went down. It's almost like watching a football player, jumping over a tackle and going down. When he's not been touched. I don't think he done himself any favours that way. But for me, he showed a lot of really good defensive work against Buatsi. Like we were saying, making him miss, hitting fresh air. And not that, he's making him a little bit silly. And to the point that Buatsi seemed disinterested. It didn't really seem like a convincing UD win. At all. However, I would have been a lot happier with the draw. I'm not one to throw allegations. Actually, yes, I am. It's pure politics come into that. Pure politics come into it. There was a couple of results there that we can talk about in a minute, but it set the tone for the night. Earlier on, and what was to come with this fight. And maybe Parker wasn't dominant enough to take that fight. According to what the judges were thinking, I don't know, but I thought the 97-93 was mad for Buatsi.
What are the back of what both of you have said, really? I think you've both sort of made some interesting points either way. It's one of those where I don't think it's up there with a Catterall Taylor 1 in terms of like, oh God, that's absolute. But I think it is really contentious. For me, anyone who watches our stuff, Chris knows, I always look at the psychology is a real big thing that I do. It's where I get my moniker from. I've studied psychology as well. For me, particularly post-fight, body language tells you everything. You look at after the fight, and I watched it back again today, and so did Chris, and he had it 6-4 watching back to Buatsi. I had it 6-4 to Parker. So many swing rounds where it's a horrible fucking fight. Jesus Christ, it was awful. But yeah, Buatsi was swinging and missing a lot, and maybe the judges felt like his lead hand was doing some work. It was so one-dimensional, Buatsi, as well. Anyway, I'm going off subject. When that final bell went, the camera was straight on Parker, raised. His team were all going straight on him, which is very telling. Buatsi looking really dishevelled, looking depressed, looking frustrated. I think he knew he didn't win the fight. I 100% believe he thought, fuck it, I've dropped the ball here. Why didn't I let my hands go? Again, never lets his hands go. And I think you can take a lot from that. It didn't look like someone, to me, Buatsi, who felt like he won the fight. It looked like he was sort of on a beach in California, like, oh, can we just get this over with? So that's really my big thing, boys, is that I thought the look of Buatsi after looked so disinterested, and he was frustrated in the fight as well.
I think I've got to disagree a little bit. I think it was a look of despair, like, I should be fucking schooling this kid. I don't think he thought I could lose this. It was a bad performance, but I don't think he was like thinking, oh, I've definitely lost. I just think he was disappointed in himself and he couldn't be asked. Like the later rounds, he was so sloppy. The jab was like, at one point, he wasn't even stood in a triangle stance. He was just stood like that, just throwing him, and he was following him around the ring like an idiot. He weren't cutting the ring off. It was very, very bad. And then
you say schooling, Chris, though, but I think Parker's the better boxer. Honestly, I think he's the better boxer. 100% he's the better boxer. So I don't think he
was the smaller boxer.
He could do anything.
There was a big size difference in there as well. Parker was just sharper, anticipating what Buatsi's jabs and his overhand rights. You know, sometimes it was beautiful to watch some of the movement. However, did he follow up with enough punches to impress the judges? You know, good defense, but let's see the offense. Was it as good? You know, I get it, but as I said to you off camera there, Chris, I would have been happier with, the judges at least saying he'd done enough to win the draw. Get a rematch if it. No one goes home demoralised like that and have these contentious questions about the judging, because now people are going online and they want to know how these judges are justifying their scores now. Yeah, and that's a big thing, because nobody's ever raised them. Should these judges be put on camera and say, right, tell us how you justify that? It'd be an interesting conversation.
But a lot of Zack Parker's, I think it looked good. A lot of his punches, that because they were fast and it was like 1-2, some hooks, and he was switch hitting. A lot of them were getting caught on the elbows, on the gloves, on the arms, or they were just tapping him. And because Buatsi is just so boring and slow, a lot of his punches weren't landing, but they were just like landing on the gloves or half landing, and they weren't as clean as you thought when I watched it back. And sometimes he'd land a few of them on the arms, on the gloves. He'd run away, then he'd sit on the floor. It was just shit, and so was Buatsi. They was both equally shit. And I just thought his shenanigans on the floor, and he kept like a few taps to the body, and then I've landed a couple of jabs. And when Buatsi was landing his jabs, he was snapping Parker's head back nearly every time when he was landing it. And he never snapped Buatsi's head back, hardly ever. He was just landing it, but he was landing cleaner. But when Buatsi was landing, Parker's head was going back.
But you don't get more points for that, Chris. It doesn't matter.
No, but
you don't get more points.
I think you do, because it's harder. It's more. The punches are harder. They hurt more. And there's also, I think.
But it just landed, isn't it? It doesn't matter whether it's knocking the head back or not. It's just a point.
Clinches, Buatsi was very active. When he had a hand free, he was smashing him in the clinches, and people weren't taking that into account. Like in them clinches, when Parker decided he wanted to get on his knees and do things that he shouldn't be doing, he was getting pummeled. Like Buatsi had a hand free and he was pummeling him all over. He weren't stopped working. And then Parker was just letting him do it, going on his knees, getting up, and it was just getting on my nerves. And if I was one of the judges, the way he kept going on the floor, I thought the ref should have took a point. It was pissing me off. Like if I was a judge, like say when he won the round, because of all the jumping on the floor, didn't give it him. Like I thought, that is a joke. If you can't stand up, then don't fight a light heavyweight if you can't even stand up when someone puts their arm on your shoulder.
Yeah, because as I said to you there, Chris, again before, he looked like the first couple of times, he looked like Buatsi had pulled him down. You can forgive him for that. But then, 4 or 5 times later, it started to get obvious that he was just going down. you know, from any touch. Again, you're right. The judges would have got frustrated with that. So there was too many minus points for both boxes. You had Buatsi with his negativity, and you had Parker with his let's say deterrence tactics. You know, getting hurt by throwing himself to the floor. There's more minuses about these two fighting than there is positives, unfortunately. But again,
I think the thing is, boys, as well, if I come, Zack Parker had to execute a very particular game plan. Buatsi is the much more natural light heavyweight. He would have rehydrated to about 14 stone on it, leaning all over Parker. Now, what I feel frustrated about, and I could sense it, and I got caught up in emotion a bit, with Zack Parker was clearly distraught, right? He quit against John Ryder, we know that. He's campaign mainly at super middle, we know that. He's maybe not got the best heart or gut in the past. He's put everything together, worked with his team to execute a game plan. He's not going to go in there and bulldoze and snap Buatsi's head back the way Buatsi can do to him. He's got to win in a very decisive, particular way. And the only way he could have won, not falling over the floor, he clearly said, the only way Parker could have won is by doing what he did. And he executed the game plan, apart from the falling around, to the best of his ability. And I hate fighters that run away. Chris Ateria, Devin Haney, Ramirez, Garcia, Romero, because you're not telling me Garcia can't hit harder than Romero. Fuck it. All right. Get and stick it on him. Parker can't do that to Buatsi. So he had to win in a very particular way. And I think it's a travesty that the judges have fucked him over like that, because he's worked on that particular game plan, right? Buatsi, but for the level of talent he's got and from his amateur pedigree, was a stinker. He was expected to win. So that's why I think it's such more of a robbery, because Parker did everything he could. He couldn't have done any more than that. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah, but you can't, for me, you can't give someone a decision just because they tried really hard. If they didn't win, they didn't win.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
No. It's like, I feel like because Buatsi's this hype train, bronze medalist, and because he's underachieved, I think everyone's got a bias. Like, he should have destroyed him. And because Parker overachieved, it's like that's how it's being looked at.
Yeah, no,
he did better than he should have, and he did a lot shitter than he was supposed to. He should have walked through him. So
Parker
everyone's
executed his game plan perfectly.
I think Andrew's right. I think Andrew's right in the sense that I feel Parker won't get another chance like this again, and that fight sort of has gone away from him now. He'll get shelved. He hadn't fought for a while before that. I feel his frustration in the sense that if you look at the punch stats alone, he's won that fight.
Yeah.
Forget about anything else. I think he only outlanded him by 25 punches, was it? It's only 25.
Yeah.
So
but that's two a round.
There you go.
That's 2 a round.
Like, because it's not amateur boxing.
I get what you were saying.
No,
I get what you were saying, Chris, about the power punching and about the effects of aggression. That is, and these three judges are obviously, but if you look at the scorecards, they're very similar. You know,
really? Yeah, I've not really looked at them, but I think like
scarily similar in the sense that the last 5 rounds were, you know, pretty much spot on with each other. And it's again, it comes down to taste in both judging and the fans.
Yeah,
you know, in my taste as a, let's say, you know, if you're good at defense and you're good at, you know, tagging your man, it's almost a score at amateur wise, you know, but try and bring the effective aggression, the 10-point must system into my judging. But it did look as if Parker just nicked it. But I wouldn't have been unhappy with a draw, because I feel
either way,
if Buatsi had an off night, let him have a rematch against the same man, because he won't be forgiven again.
No. I think the rematch, like, that's what's next. So what's next? What do you think's next for Buatsi? Let's go around. Andrew, next for Buatsi.
Oh, God, yeah. You know what? Because I'm actually trying for a change. I'm trying to sort of be as logical as possible, because Buatsi has massively disappointed me with his professional career. And I just think there's been too many stinkers outside of the Callum Smith and Yeah, what was the other really good? Willie Hutchinson, the Willie Hutchinson fight. He just flatters to deceive me. I think he's got so much talent. And I don't know, he just seems so one-dimensional and I find him really difficult to watch. He's clearly got plenty of ability. So I'm thinking maybe fight Lyndon Arthur for the European, or, you know, I don't think he should go anywhere near the winner of Benavidez Yard. I don't think he deserves it. I think it was an awful performance. So I can't be anything other than negative about it, really.
Mr Neutral?
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree. You know, if we look at it properly, he's nicked it against Parker. Anyone else in that top 10, they're not going to be forgiven. And he, as I said before, he cannot afford another, you know, a performance like that and expect forgiveness. We'll forgive him for this one because, you know, Parker was elusive. Parker was, you know, doing some tactics and et cetera, but I have to agree with Andrew. If he goes for, or if he's chosen for the European with Lyndon Arthur, that would be the best fight for him. To prove himself, you know, to say, right, I'm back at the top table, because Lyndon Arthur, I've always said, he's the boy you have to beat to get to the top table. I don't like using the term gatekeeper. I hate that word. I hate that. He's the man you have to beat to get to the top table, where Anthony Yard and Benavidez and the Bivels and above of this world. And then there's a large group behind them.
Yeah.
And, you know, to get into that group, Buatsi needs an outstanding performance against a Lyndon Arthur type. As for Zack Parker, give him Billy.
There's nobody think that he should do the rematch. If I was him, like I would write that
in the absence of.
Yeah, I would say I want to show everyone it was a bad day at the office, and I'm better than that. I'm fighting Zack Parker again, give him the rematch. But I think he needs to change trainer. I think the problem with Buatsi is he's with a defense-first trainer, Virgil Hunter. He thinks he's a slick counterpuncher, and he isn't. And he's standing there in the pocket trying to counter people, getting tagged. He's not got the quick enough feet. I think he's forgetting what brought him to the dance when he was in the Olympics, when he started his career, letting his hands go and just like letting his hands go, letting the hands fly. I think he needs to change trainer and go with a more aggressive trainer, maybe an Adam Booth, maybe Ben Davidson. Even he would never train him because he only trains his friends. Like a lot of people don't agree with him, but I think Peter Fury is a great trainer. And obviously, his son is just like a walk-in first aid badge. So I think he needs an aggressive trainer. And I think he should right this wrong and show everyone, I'm better than that. And Zack Parker should take it to say, that was a robbery. I'm going to win this time. And I think we'll make for a good fight. I think the rematch, or Lyndon Arthur, but I want the rematch. And make it better this time, you bastards.
Oh, stylistically, it's horrible though to watch. It's horrible to watch.
This is Queensbury cannot afford another fight like that, especially as a main event, or you know, even as
it was on the undercard of something, not in a main event. Not in a main event, definitely not.
But Buatsi, unfortunately, Parker would know, as I said before, I think he'd be struggling to get another fight. I mean, if I was his manager, Zack Parker, I'd be hounding everybody in the top 10 now to, you know, say that, you know, what do you think? Yeah. Give us a fight, because you know that was, if I could do that to Buatsi, what, you know, I can at least.
And who's going to want to fight him though?
An entertainment factor about him. You know, he has. As for Buatsi, Virgil Hill, he's been with him for years now.
Yeah, 4 or 5 years. Yeah,
you could be right. It could be time for a change, but I'm not so sure what Dwayne Sinclair was doing in the corner, his manager. I just felt that there was too many voices in his head.
Yeah,
a manager and your trainer in the corner at the same time. Sorry, doesn't work.
I think it's just because he weren't listening. He wasn't listening to his corner. He just kept going out and doing the same thing. And then he was, as the rounds were going on, he was getting sloppier and sloppier. And I think they were just like going there to scream at him what Virgil Hunter was screaming at him, like to see if they can get him to listen, kind of thing. But I just think he's learned how to be defensive. He's learned all the little tricks of the trade that he can learn off the spoiling tactics. He's learned all that. He can't get any more out of Virgil Hunter. Let's get back to being aggressive and letting them hands go before you're too slow and too old to do it.
It's a good point, Chris, on that, actually, right? A bit like what we heard when we spoke to Jamie TKV about Wardley going to Ben Davidson. And then maybe a couple of years down the line, maybe, I don't know, maybe someone like a Don Charles, someone like that, whatever, take what you can from them. But it was weird though, because I heard Virgil Hunter in the interview after, and he said, look, Buatsi won using his lead hand. I'm just going to try and get him to learn how to close the ring off more. It's like, Jesus Christ, cutting the ring off ain't that difficult, is it? I don't know. I know Baturbia is the best closer offer of a ring I've ever seen, but I'm like, you get in there in the look, mate, I'm not anywhere near any of these guys' levels, but surely in the first phase you kind of get them there. If you bank on your tank, second phase you follow up your work, and before they pivot out of the corner on the ropes, you fucking land a couple of body shots and stick him there.
Yeah.
Zack Parker was looking to fall on the floor anyway. Fucking keep him there in the second and third phase. Yeah. Stick it on him. So I'm not having any of that. Oh, I need to teach him how to close the ring off.
You know that.
Couldn't be asked.
Yeah, no, you're right.
I'm being asked, boys. Call me out if I'm being asked.
In the later rounds, sloppy. He was so sloppy.
So you're convincing me that he didn't win the fight now, Chris. You know, you're right. He was not doing himself any favours at all. And this is where I come back to the point that, you know, they're not going to have a rematch with it. Queensberry don't want Zack Parker anywhere near the top 175 stars if he's going to make a fight like that of it. Yeah. He did what he had to do to think that he won that fight, as Andrew said. You know, that was the only strategy he could. 168 pound, having his first fight, 175 pound, could do against probably Britain's number 2, 3, 175 pound, and we've got a lot.
Not anymore.
You know, Ben Whittaker. We've got Ben Whittaker to come into the fray. Dan Aziz, he's on the resurgence. You got Karol Atuma.
Lewis Edmonds, Daniel Lapin from Ukraine. Lapin, Edmondson.
I'm just talking from a British point of view at this point. Spoiled at 175. Yeah, Lewis Edmondson, he's another one that should be coming through anytime soon.
So Ezra Taylor.
Ezra Taylor. Do you know what? I've got big hopes for Ezra.
He's good, but he talks too much shit and don't back it up for me. Like because if you're going to talk that talk, I think you got to. Because I don't really like Ben Whittaker, but he talks the talk, and then apart from the Liam Cameron fight, the first one, he walks the walk. Do you know what I mean? He gets in there, he does the business and showboats and he makes. And like Ezra Taylor's talking that talk, and then he's just doing basic, just running through the motions, getting the win, you know. Just like,
do you know he's 31, boys, Ezra Taylor? He looks about 23. The guy's fucking 31. He's not, I mean, he needs to get a move on, doesn't he?
No,
won.
None of them. Ben Whittaker's 28.
28. They need to get a crack on, didn't they?
They're all old men now. They're all getting towards 20, early 30.
Yeah, they are. Getting on a bit, though.
So they've got to get a move on. So and one thing I'll say before we move on to just briefly talk about the other fights, you've got, I think what flopped it for Zack Parker is, imagine you had the winning lottery ticket and you lost it. Because when he lost to John Ryder, if he beat John Ryder, he's fighting Canelo next. And he had an injury or he quit or whatever. He had an injury, he said. And he didn't get to fight Canelo. And I think mentally, that made him depressed. Maybe his missus was like, you fucking idiot. We would have been millionaires if you would have beat him.
Speculation, of course. We're merely speculating.
And that's why he was so upset last night.
Because it's happened again.
Sorry, on Saturday night.
Yeah.
Because it happened again afterwards. He felt that, you know, he's like Charlie in the Chocolate Factory. And, you know, the wee man's just won the ticket. He's running home. He's going to, yes, I've got some trips over. And he goes down the fucking drain. That's how, you know,
it's exactly like it is.
Yeah.
So, that's how he feels right now. I feel for him. I really do, but
I want to say something as well. Like I think I don't know whether you'll both agree on this, but and you alluded to it, our guest alluded to it and made a point. The problem is with Zack Parker's style, and this is because I normally hate that style, but you can only go by what you see and how you feel, and then I've obviously scored it again after. But he needs to call out everybody he can to get back on the table. Everyone's going to go, oh, I don't want to fight him. He's going to make me miss, and bloody, he's going to be a nightmare, like trying to hit an heel, moving around everywhere. Because at least Bivol's in and out, but throws a lot of shots. Zack Parker, I mean, he's going to make a lot of fighters look a bit silly, and I don't think anyone's going to want to get in there with him. What do you boys think?
Who needs him, man? Who needs him? You're not going to get paid a lot of money. He's going to make you look bad. Why am I going to fight him? I'm not.
Exactly. Exactly.
And this is what I fear. I fear he's shelved now because of this kind of performance, you know, which, again, we come back to. That was the only way he was going to have a chance of winning, is, you know, do exactly what he'd done. Some people had him 6 rounds up after 6 rounds. I mean,
Frampton gave Buatsi 1 or 2 rounds, I think.
He only gave him 1 round. Even he said after the fight, you know, 3 of them. Frampton went. He didn't want to get himself in trouble with the zone, and he said, "I give him 1 round."
Yeah,
I'll take his job. But moving on, we'll go. But it's been great to have you on, Mr. Neutral. Has anyone got anything to add before we round up?
No, just don't forget Chris to give all his details in the description.
So
like and subscribe to his channel.
Like and subscribe, and we're going to collab on this video.
Like and subscribe to you guys, Boxing Bros UK. Get your thumbs up, likes and subscribe. Do it now. Get your notifications on. These two are magnificent, absolutely great at what they do. They're mental, but I love them. So make sure you guys like and subscribe and show them some love from me.
What a shout out!
Help, I need somebody. Help, now she's